Okay, one last thing about the Trump fine in New York, and then I promise I'll shut up about it. But I was thinking, why does this seem like deja vu? And then I remembered I knew a lawyer who had a trust account. Lawyers were required to have trust accounts for our clients. And this lawyer was representing a large corporation. And they put several $1,000,000 in his trust account. Well, instead of keeping it there, he took it and invested it in stock. Now, this was before Tesla, but let's just assume it was Tesla stock. So he put it in Tesla stock and made like 10 to 1. $10 for every dollar he invested. Made a fortune. Then he went into to his own account where he had made all this money, took out enough of his own funds to cover the month that he took plus interest and put it back in the trust account. A victimless crime. Sound familiar? It was a victimless crime. I paid it all back. I paid interest on it. Took the money, but I paid it back with interest. Well, the bar found out about it. He was required to return all of the money that he invested, all of the gains that he had realized from the use of that stock, from the purchase of that stock, and he was disbarred for life. Victimless crime? No, it's not a victimless crime. When you obtain money improperly, in this case it was taking trust money, in Trump's case it was taking money by borrowing money through fraud, and that's all it was. That was fraud. So he took money fraudulently, which he should never have had in his hands, invested it, made a profit of $350 million, including the special interest rate that he got. But aside from that, enough money in addition to that from the purchase and sales of these properties, said he made out like a bandit. He made approximately $350 million. And the judge says, no, you can't keep that money. You made it by using money that you obtained by fraud, so you can't keep it. That's why it's called disgorgement, and that's what the statute provides. You take money and property, you use that money, you make yourself wealthy with it. You can't keep the money you made with the money that you obtained in property, even if you return the money eventually. So it was a clear case in both instances. The law is clear. The judge followed the law. I read his decision. I read the statute. In my mind, there's nothing appealable here. So even if Trump can fork over by that time, it'll be close to $500 million in money for a supersedious bond, he's not going to win the appeal. So his followers can squeal all they want. The reality is the law catches up with you. George Will used to say the wheels of justice grind slow, but they grind extremely fine. You get caught in those wheels of justice, and they can grind you up. And I know, because I've been at this for a long time. And it seems like, especially when I was a young lawyer first starting out, I can't believe I can't get to trial till 6 months after I filed the lawsuit. Well, now I'm lucky if I can get to trial in 3 years. I've got a case in San Diego that's been pending for close to 3 years by the time we get to trial. But I couldn't believe how slowly the machinery worked. Now that I've been at it for a long time, a year, 2, 3, it doesn't seem so long anymore. In fact, it feels like no time at all. I realize that, yeah, you get there eventually. And Donald Trump's been skating and flitting and flirting and flying around. Now he's caught in the wheels of justice, and they're grinding him. And the Jean Carroll case is grinding him. This New York case is grinding him. Those are the two biggies. Together with interest, they're talking about in the area of $600 million for which he's gonna eventually have to cough up. And no one of his small donors who think he's wonderful and send money to save him from all this the unfair cases brought against him, it's not going to make any difference at all. He's going to have to come out. He's going to start having to divest himself of his assets. He's not going to be able to run his business anymore. Banks are going to stay away from him like he has leprosy, and that and his orange face, those two things alone would scare off any investor. And he's in real trouble. Plus, he's got these criminal cases. And I've mentioned this before, that the criminal cases, they would say, oh, well, he can postpone those. He can he won't have to pay this. He'll just post a bond, like bonds are free. He'll just post a bond. He'll just drag these trials out until after the election. Then if he's elected, he can just order the dismissal of these cases. Well, he could, the federal cases, but he can't do that with the state cases. And in the meantime, he's going to be spending, a few $100 million on legal fees, which doesn't bother me. That's not a bad way to spend your money. But he's got a lot of baggage, which is, I think, in my opinion, as I've said before, the main reason that Nikki Haley is sticking around, because she knows he's facing all of these headwinds, and there are headwinds in the legal system, and that legal system is not friendly to people like Donald Trump once they're caught up in the system. I can read The Prisoner by Dostoevsky. You'll know what I'm talking about. So, and don't read it in the original Russian like I did. It took me 18 years to finish reading that book, and it was not that long. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.